Mr. Carson Ting. Carson is an award-winning multidisciplinary creative with over 16 years of agency experience on building global and national brands such as Nike, Jordan, Adidas Originals, Lexus, Sony, and more. He currently enjoys splitting his time doing freelance art direction, building his tech startup at Voti from the ground up, and illustration work through his studio called Carson Ting. All right, please let's welcome to the stage Mr. Carson Ting.
Hi. So, my name's Carson Ting, illustrator, art director, and also co-founder of Voti. It's an app that we built to help people, ask questions, weird questions. For example, if I had a rash between my legs, do I A, get it checked out, or do I just leave it? You could ask your friends privately. You wouldn't necessarily ask your friends on Facebook or Twitter because that would just be wrong. So hopefully that's where this comes in, the app comes in. You get to ask people privately, and it keeps a tally, and you can see who your real friends are. Whether they tell you to go check it out, dude, or don't get it checked out. So that's how it came about. So why am I here tonight? Well, obviously it's not a running success. We thought it was going to be a running success. We've been at it for three and a half years, and it's been a lot of just blood, sweat, and tears, and we haven't got paid a dime yet for 3.5 years, and yet we're still asking people for money, so go figure. So I would say that it would be a fuck up. I'm also here to kind of share all the fuck ups, so hopefully, those of you that are planning to do a tech startup, you won't follow, or follow some of the mistakes that I've done through. And on top of that, I just also wanted to introduce how it all came about. This is my brother. Obviously he doesn't look like that. He's way more handsome, and he's got a little more hair on the sides. So this is my brother Pak. He's a banker from Hong Kong, and he's smart, he's ambitious, and he's taller than I am. But he knows fuck all about social media, fuck all about tech startups. So when he came to me to ask me to help him build up this app, I was like, fuck no. I'm not going to be part of this failure because I know I could already see it being a failure. But he convinced me, and that's what he's good at. He's good at convincing people, and I came around, I was like, sure, let's do it. This was back in 2010, and social media was, it was just starting. So he asked me to assemble a team for him. I was like, sure. So of course I go assemble a team with no experience. I got a bunch of my buddies from advertising, creative people thinking that we could make this a running success. So we were basically the blind leading the blind. A banker leading a bunch of advertising professionals tried to build this app. Nobody's ever built an app before, so we're like, we could totally do this. Boy, were we wrong. And so, because of that, we just started focusing our energies in different places that we should have focused on, the more critical parts. So definitely hire people, or get people that know what they're doing. So we're still trying to figure things out, which is why I'm here. So definitely when you do have people that know what they're doing, it makes it way more efficient. So one of the biggest challenges that we first overcame when we hit the ground running was geography. And when my brother, he lives in Hong Kong, I live in Vancouver, and that time difference makes a big inefficiency between the two of us. It felt like I was in a dysfunctional long distance relationship. Anyway, so the first thing is you definitely have to quit your day job. It's all in or nothing. So my brother quit his high-paying job as a banker to dive into this full, in the deep end. And meanwhile, all of us in Vancouver were doing it part-time. We still had our day jobs. We still had our projects that we were working on. So it really frustrated my brother. And the way that I see it is that not only was he crazy enough to quit his job, he quit his job a year before he got married. So his fiance thought he was totally crazy. So my brother is a little bit crazy. Marketing is a bitch. So I'm kind of embarrassed to tell you the story. coming from as an advertising professional, being in this business for 16 years, and with my partners, collectively, we have over 40 years of working experience. Marketing, working on campaigns for Google, for Sony, for Nike, but we just couldn't fucking make it happen for our own app. It was so hard. For some reason, we weren't able to make our or on social media to get it famous. And I often like to also compare building apps to kids. As a father myself, I think apps constantly grow, they constantly need change. Same with kids, they constantly grow and they constantly change. So that's why it's easy for me to draw those parallels. And on top of that, they need your 24/7, they need your undivided attention. And I remember when we first got onto the app, we were on iOS 5. I remember when iOS 7 came on, all the graphics were flat. And I had to change all those little bubbly buttons that I had created to turn them into flat graphics. And that was a big fuck up. And I also see, raising a kid, you can't do it part-time. So with an app, you can't do it part-time either. Or you'll have a failing app and a kid that's maybe a drug junkie one day. So that's why I think you have to have your 24/7 dedication with building app. You just can't do it on a part-time basis. It just doesn't work. You need to have, all the care and the nurturing and to get up to speed. Another fuck up is design, and I take full responsibility for this because being the lead design on this, I spent countless hours trying to make the perfect logo. And I remember we were settling on this one logo that I thought was very cool, and it was just an envelope that was inverted to look like a V for voting. I thought it was super clever. We printed business cards, it was up on the website. And then not long enough, someone came up to me and it's like, hey, your logo looks exactly like this logo for a campaign monitor. I was like, oh fuck, that was a big fuck up. If I had done my research, it wouldn't have happened. So what did I learn from all of this? My time's up. You gotta get people to, you gotta get dedicated people, quit their day jobs, you gotta get everyone in one room. You can't have people working all around the world because that just doesn't work. Thank you for listening to my rant.